So how's your trip back from Toronto? Like,
oh my god,
did you bus or train? Or...
I took a ride share.
How'd that go?
Not good. So I actually forgot my backpack on the train, or on the bus on the way to catch my ride share.
Yeah.
So that was a mess, and I was sitting at like the bus station for like 3 hours while they were while they were finding it.
Yeah.
And so like usually what they'll do is send everything to Union.
Okay,
It's central, right?
Yeah.
For like lost and found. And I'm like, I can't.
No.
Because I had my laptop in there, I had like medication in there, I had everything. My wallet, like my... Why did I keep my sin was in there. so everything was in there, and I got this really like nice guy, and he helped me out. And like he called, I don't know who he called, but like he made it happen. They brought it back. It was good.
Sweet.
So ended up taking a last minute ride share. I left Toronto at like 8 on Friday.
Okay.
Got in at like midnight.
Yeah.
So
not bad.
he was driving quite fast, but made it safe, made it in one piece, and I have my belongings.
There you go. So you just left the makeup kit back there. But,
yeah. Well, I mean, she's my baby.
Yeah.
I need to take care of her, and I would break her if I brought her. So
I guess. Fair.
She's got a couple $1,000s in there.
Just a bit.
Just the bag itself is $400.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So like,
sounds about right. Sounds like camera stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although your returns are much higher, so.
Yeah.
So, oh.
Yeah. But I mean, in terms of like proportions.
But yet again, you always have to buy more.
Yeah. Like if you buy like it should be fine for like a couple of years.
Yeah.
And like for me, like even if I don't use it all, they expire, right? So like I have to throw it out even if it's not dead. So
how long is like expiring dates usually on stuff? Depends.
Yeah, it depends for products. So usually if it's like mascara, 3 months. Because like you're constantly like dipping into it.
Yeah.
And like even if you use like a disposable wand, it's not like you're still taking like a foreign object and putting it into a liquid. So it's just like a pool of bacteria, which is delicious, right?
Fun shit.
But like powders, around 2 years.
Okay.
So like it depends. So like if it's a sealed container, so like I also have like liquid foundation that come with a pump.
Yeah.
That's like 1 year. So depends. Everything though, like every 2 years, like I rotate everything because I'm just like I'm not taking any chances. I have to like
that's fair.
You know, I'm putting it around people's faces, on their eyes, everything. I'm not.
Yeah, no. Better safe.
Yeah, fair enough.
Not dealing with any of that.
Fair enough.
That's true. You want to roll an intro?
Yeah, we can roll the intro.
All right.
You remember how to do it?
I'm going to try and do this off the top of my head. It's been a while. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Born to Create podcast, hosted by acef.media. You can check out this podcast on iTunes, Spotify, and on YouTube. If you have not checked out the last episode, go check out the last episode and then come back to this episode. Like, subscribe, share, all that stuff does help a lot. Do make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Slowly growing in that. We'd love to be growing a lot faster than we are. So yeah, subscribe. Make sure to check that out. I'm Ace Fothergill. I'm one of your hosts. I'm a 20-year-old content creator. Stealing Frank's line like usual.
Yeah.
I'm also an apple pie and pumpkin pie eater now because it's Halloween.
Oh,
so
festive.
you gotta get into like the pumpkin pies.
Oh yeah, a little bit of whipped cream, ice cream on the side.
Not a whipped cream guy.
Oh.
Not a whipped cream.
Meringue?
I
fucking know.
Either like normal pumpkin pie or like cheesecake pumpkin pie.
Oh, cheesecake pumpkin pie is my...
That sounds good.
I got some in the freezer, so I might go eat some later.
Yo, I got the biggest goddamn pumpkin pie at Costco.
Mm.
They're like massive. Only thing is, you have like gelatin on top for some fucking reason.
I go to M&M.
Mm.
Well, my mom goes to M&M.
Yeah.
But anyways, this is my co-host.
Frank, content creator and strategist. And yeah.
All around fun guy.
Fun guy, pumpkin pie eater, you know.
Okay, well, you can't steal my line now.
Well, I'm stealing it now. Apple pie, no.
All of the above.
I had a nice ribeye steak yesterday. Oh, that was good.
Okay, we're not gonna start talking about food because we're just gonna talk about food the whole episode.
Yeah. Then we'll just have like a mukbang section going.
We gotta do that
Honestly,
for an episode.
We need
Yes.
to. We need to.
Invite me back.
We'll do it. Let me know
Sounds
when you're
good.
back and we'll do it.
Sounds good. And this is our guest, makeup
Hello.
artist. Introduce yourself.
My name's Gabrielle Martin. Turning 20 next week, so
Ooh.
I'm part of the
Join the club. Yeah.
joining the club.
Yeah.
I am in school for cosmetology at Sheridan College. So I'm getting that education. Yeah, I do makeup and hair.
Sweet. So how we know her? Well, I did a shoot with you and
Last July.
Was it
Last July.
Damn,
July
last year.
2018.
She still knows. The
Oh,
date.
I do.
Shit.
July 26th.
Okay.
Wow.
There you go.
Got my good memory.
Damn, that was a fun, interesting
Yeah.
shoot.
Oh, man.
15 minutes to shoot it.
This was Brianna De Villa, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
face makeup.
Those
That was
shit-
a sick.
They turned
concept.
out nice, though.
Right?
That was fun. Love it. We gotta do more.
Yes. I mean, I'll be back.
You'll be back. Yeah,
I'll
oh
be
yeah.
back.
Yeah, you're on reading week now, eh?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm third semester, 3 out of 4 semesters.
Okay.
So
Don't drop out.
I'm already this far out. So
Yeah, don't pull A's.
That's why she goes.
Last semester goes dips.
oh my god, no.
Hey, it's done. It's done.
Honestly,
Worth it.
a lot of people dropped out when the second year first started. So I feel like I've made it past
There you
that
go.
little area.
That's
So
fair. Yeah.
I'm in it to the end.
How are you liking the program so far?
It's good. It's good. First semester, not gonna lie, was really boring. It
Sounds
was
like first semesters.
Yeah,
Well,
we spent like
basics.
6 weeks on like how to apply foundation. We had an entire class on like color theory, and it's very fundamental,
Yeah.
and it's stuff that I already knew, but at the same time it's good to have like a refresher on the basics.
Yeah, that's true.
And then second semester we did historical. That was
Okay.
fun. So
Okay.
for like 14 weeks, every week we went through the decades.
Okay.
So it was like chronological. So it was fun. Looked more at like trends and whatnot. And then this semester we're looking more at film and TV. We're looking at
Okay.
theater, special effects a little bit. So more like production type
Yeah.
of makeup. And then next semester I have no idea. But I'll be back. I'll fill you in.
Yeah.
Sweet.
But it's also nice because they look at like the business aspect of it.
Yeah.
So a lot of like makeup artists are going to be freelancers.
Yeah.
So they look at like advertising, they look at marketing. I know next semester there's talk of having like a website building class type of stuff.
Okay.
Like, not too sure, but it'll come. But it's essentially just helping us, make our own business.
Yeah.
And they're also looking at like, you can go for a union, you can go for an agency, but it's really mostly self-employed. So
Okay.
that
That's
part's
not
nice
bad.
too.
At least they're teaching you all that stuff.
Yeah. It's not. I only have two practical classes. The rest are technical, and I have 8
Okay.
classes.
Okay.
So the ratio, like we're expected to do most of like our hands-on practice on our own.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's how you learn.
Yeah.
Very
Like,
true. Very
yeah.
true.
Like, what's your favorite type of makeup to do then? Or in terms of like
Out of everything.
for clients or whatnot?
Well, I definitely like media.
Okay.
So I like doing makeup for like photography, for film, not so much theater, but and I like doing very like elegant type of makeup. Making people look classy, look pretty. But at the same time though, like I'm still at that stage where I'm experimenting on everything.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
So I've been doing a lot of like editorial type of stuff, which has been really fun. I did this shoot with a student at Sheridan, and we did like liner essentially.
Okay.
And like we essentially like traced her face in eyeliner. It was-
Oh yeah. I've
yeah.
seen those. Oh,
It was
nice.
really fun.
That's sick.
She had the blue coat
Yes.
on. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was looking at that today,
Megan
actually.
Chandler is
Okay.
the photographer on that one. It was all her concept, and I was brought on. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
It was-
Oh, that's
yeah.
sick.
Oh,
So that
that's
sort
really
of thing, like I don't do it often, but it was a lot of fun. So that sort of thing, like, but with getting into editorial, it's hard because you can't go into editorial. You have to start from the other side and then go into editorial.
That's fair.
Like you can't just go into the big leagues
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
away. You have to work your way up.
That's fair.
So I can't really, jump right into it. But one day.
You got this. You got this. It's like, what's the difference between makeup for like events and like
Yeah.
theaters, and then for photography?
So everything has its own purpose. So like when you're doing it on person, like for a wedding, for example, for like a special event, it has to look good when I'm looking at you face to face. So, and you also want it to last.
Right.
Because usually if they're going to like an event, it's going to be like the whole night.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be there to touch up. So usually you'll want to layer on products so that it lasts longer. So you'll want to really focus on priming the face. You'll usually want to use like a setting spray at the end to like lock it all in. You'll want to use a bit more powder than you would for photography. But you really just want to make sure that everything is long lasting. And looks good in person. For photography though, you want to look more for like how it looks through the camera. Like the camera does not lie.
Yeah.
You see everything, and I'm sure you know. So you want to skip out on the powder a little bit. And that's the thing too, for like photography, you'll be there to touch up. So if something creases, you just tap it back in.
Yeah.
So you don't want to use too much powder, and especially because that messes up with post.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So like if they're trying to like airbrush or a little bit, just smooth out the skin, and there's too much powder, then it looks just very too smooth.
Yeah.
Which is unrealistic.
It just looks blurry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that kind of guarantees that the photographer doesn't want to work with you anymore. So not too much powder, and you mainly like creams. I really like creamy products just because I feel like they add a lot of glow. I don't know, it just makes a person look alive.
Yeah.
But you're not too focused on the longevity of the makeup, mostly on how it looks then and there. Then for theater though, it's emphasizing everything that's there. So it's crazy contour, and it's not blended at all. Because you want to see it from the back row.
That's true. Yeah.
So
so it's referred to clown makeup, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
It's like a black
you'll
line.
see dark brown. But you'll see that like sharp line, and you won't really have that like blending. And the thing that like for makeup for events or something, you want to create highlights where there aren't any. So like for example, a lot of people don't like the folds around their mouths. So you'll want to highlight them even though there's a natural shadow. But for theater, you're not trying to correct anything. You're just trying to emphasize what is there. So you will put darkness in the mouth, like around the mouth folds, for example. And so like in person, it makes you feel really terrible when you're wearing it because it's emphasizing everything that you hate about your face.
Yeah, that's fair.
But then with that point too, you can also do like aging makeup. So you can make someone look a lot older. So like you can add a lot of darkness under the eyes. You can also like add crow's feet around the eyes too. So it's like you can play with like shadows and lights and like create stuff that's not there. And because it's so far away, you kind of get away with it. So it's fun.
That's fair. So do you plan on going like freelance, or do you plan on working on a set type of thing?
I've considered a lot of my options, but I'm thinking of doing the union route. There's Yahtzee in Toronto, and there's also NABET. Those are the two big ones, and they work a lot with like Netflix and the big
oh shit, okay.
yeah they work a lot with like the big productions. So it's hard because it's not going to be like the most fun type of stuff.
Yeah.
But because it's a union, you can work up the ranks and then eventually become like a key artist that kind of like designs the whole look and work on like big celebrities. So that would be fun. But at the same time, the like freelancers, they get to work on more like creative projects and kind of have more say in their own thing. Because right now, if I were to join a union, I mean, I applied to one, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But if I were, I'd be a daily. So I'd go in, I'd be called at like the night before. I'd be like, hey, we need a makeup artist tomorrow morning at this place. Are you good? I show up and I just do what I'm told and I leave. Not even credited, not nothing. Just getting paid and out. It is good money. But it's hard. It's kind of, you have to pick between, do you want to be creative and do your own thing or do you want to make money?
Yeah.
And so, and if you are part of the union, you have to run everything you do by the union.
Okay, that was my question. Can you do your own free stuff?
No. Like it's more of like a permit thing, liability thing. And it's,
fair.
you know, I get it. But it's hard because you don't really know, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're kind of limited in that sense. But at the same time, you go up the ranks and then you can kind of, at that point, years down the line, you have kind of a free pass to do what you want to do.
That's fair.
So,
That's fair.
yeah.
A lot of thinking to do.
Yeah.
Oh,
but I'm thinking I'll do the union, though. Just because over time, I'll have more opportunities. And so even though it sucks now.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet.
But who knows?
Yeah. So like, how about? So I know like you need perfect lighting or whatever to actually do the makeup. Does your lighting setup change per what
Yeah.
depends what you're doing?
Usually we don't have the luxury.
No, yeah.
So
that's
we do what we have to do. In a perfect world, you do makeup in front of the same lights as you're shooting.
fair. Yeah.
So, like if we're shooting in natural light, I want to do makeup in natural light. If I'm doing makeup in like, or if the model is being shot in the studio, doing in front of studio lighting.
Yeah.
And then it depends, just because sometimes the lighting's gonna be harsher, so you want to go a little softer. But if the lighting is really soft, it blends the edges. So you want to go about like, in person, it's gonna look a little crazy.
Yeah.
Because you just want to put on a bit more pigment because it'll be blurred away anyway.
Right.
So like they say around like 30% goes away of the pigment. So you like it looks a little crazy in person.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. So usually like I don't actually have the greatest lighting in front of me, but I'm always keeping it in mind. Like, am I going to like what kind of lighting am I shooting in?
Yeah.
And if I can, then I do.
Yeah.
But
that's fair.
usually not.
Yeah. So yeah, studio light. Like if you're doing studio, always push it higher up for makeup a little bit more because it goes away.
Yeah.
And then if you're doing natural, just
natural
do
light
it.
is the best.
Yeah.
Natural light is the best for makeup. It just looks the most. It translates the best, I would say.
Yeah.
And it's warm. It's golden. It's more like the studio, like usually studio lighting is very soft and like it's so diffused that like there's no edges anymore.
No, yeah. That's
So we kind of need to put that jawline back in, you know.
oh, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have another question? Or do you want me to go?
Questions.
I know we got
What are you
tons.
talking about?
Right.
We got a bunch.
I've got answers.
There you go.
I've got answers.
If you got questions, let us know and we'll answer them too.
I've actually done makeup once.
You have?
Yeah?
Yeah.
On who?
Yeah.
They taught us it in school.
Oh, what did you go to school for again?
Photography.
Interesting.
I dropped out, but
They teach you makeup. All right.
yeah, they brought in.
It makes sense, but
I don't remember I don't remember the guy's name, but he's like one of like the top like makeup artists. Like he's like super good, and he came in like showed us makeup on like mim models, and then like we had to like do our own makeup, like just in case the makeup artist isn't there.
yeah, like corrective, like
Okay, yeah.
And like we fully applied like makeup and stuff like that.
Well, I agree. Like it's
something to know.
Well, you need to know it. If you're doing like studio stuff, you need to know exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah.
To tell your makeup artist.
But even then, like I can't tell you the amount of times where like I've met with a photographer and they have no idea what they want. They're just like, this color.
Yeah.
I'm like, but where? You know, like how? Like show me pictures. You know, like I'm a very visual person, so like pictures really help me, but they have no idea what they want to do. So like the fact that you at least have like base knowledge.
Yeah.
Even in theory.
Kind of.
Even in theory. Like it would help you communicate with your artist. So like if you're saying like I want a liner, you know, and she can ask like, oh, like what kind of liner? And then you can have like an educated discussion about what you want the liner to look like.
Yeah.
You know, so it's I didn't realize that they would teach that though. But it's interesting.
I think I was third semester. Yeah, third semester you start working with models. Yeah.
Huh.
Like that dude's like one of like the like almost not like he's like one of like the best makeup artists, I guess.
You'll have to find his name because I'm curious to see who you met.
Oh, I don't remember. Honestly, it starts with a D, but I'm not 100% sure.
From Ottawa? Yeah.
From Ottawa.
I don't know if he's from Ottawa. I know he's done like a lot of drag stuff.
Oh,
And he did drag in Ottawa for a bit. Like he did drag makeup and he was like an actual drag queen, I guess you'd call him.
I will research.
I'm uneducated on that part.
No, that's interesting though. But I mean, it's definitely good to learn from like someone that's actually experienced in that sort of thing. And like if he's done theater makeup, because I mean, drag is theater, I would say.
Yeah.
And he's also doing like photography work and.
Oh yeah. And like he's worked out of like Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basic makeup shit or like knowing makeup is good.
Yeah. No, it's good to know.
It definitely helps, especially if you're working with makeup.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not
well,
really that big a deal to learn.
Yeah, but it's also like if you are hiring someone, like it's hard. Like
you know what you're looking for.
Yeah, and it's hard to like communicate with a photographer that doesn't know.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
Like anything. Like just if you have like an idea.
Yeah.
At least you know you can get the ball rolling. But if it's hard to find a place to like what do they know? What don't they know? Like, I don't want to dumb it down to the point where they feel bad.
Yeah,
you know?
that's fair. Yeah.
So
it was just like us with models. They don't know what they want.
Yeah.
And then we're like, okay, now we got to start from scratch. Do you want outdoors or indoors? Nature or city? Like, that's how I start sometimes. Because I have no choice because they don't know what they want whatsoever.
They have zero vision, yeah.
So I'm like, all right, nature or like city, like outside, inside. And we start building something. And then we're like, okay, do you want a theme? And I'm like, right?
Here's some photos.
Here's some examples. Let me know what you like best. Right. So like, same thing with makeup artists. If you don't know what the heck, we don't know what the heck we want, then it's like you're like puzzled trying to figure something out.
Yeah. So, honestly, images.
Pinterest.
give your artist Pinterest.
We've done so many things on Pinterest.
Oh my God, yeah.
I got a list.
If anyone's not using Pinterest yet, you're missing out.
Even I never touched it. And I was like, all right, I'm touching it now. It's so much better.
I've been using it a while, but
Pinterest has such a bad reputation, but
I know.
It has like the stay-at-home mom type of reputation.
Oh yeah,
but it's great. I love Pinterest.
Like, it depends what you're using it for, but for like, you were using it. It's amazing. It's a mood board. It's a quick mood board.
Yeah.
And you can just send them to people too, which is great.
Yeah. The only thing is, like, they don't really credit people. Like, it's so easy to repost images. So, like, sometimes you'll find a great image and you have no idea who did it.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
I feel bad, but at the same time, like, it's just for myself or like my team at least. So it's not. I'm not sharing the image. I'm not like, so.
It's just ideas and stuff. So.
Yeah, it's a good place to start. Yeah.
Do they teach you like hygiene in school?
Yes.
And, like, how to clean brushes and like properly take care of all your stuff?
Yes. I wish they actually paid more attention to it because I've seen some nasty stuff. Nasty stuff. Like, so you want to use 70% alcohol. Not 9. So you'd think that like 99% alcohol would be the best to sanitize. But it actually evaporates too quickly to sanitize anything. So you want to do 70%. You want to just like spritz it on powders. And so like you don't really have a choice. Like if it's like an eyeshadow or like a face powder, you have to dip into it. And so you just want to like spray it and it sanitizes the surface. But if it's like a cream product, ideally it would be like in a tube or a pump where you never actually touch the actual product. But sometimes you'll have like lipstick where you have like, it comes out. So you want to scrape off the top and then you put that on a palette and you work from there. You never ever want to double dip. Never want to double dip because that's how people get pink eye. Honestly, pink eye is the least of your worries when it comes to like hygiene and proper sanitization. But in terms of like keeping your brushes clean, in my program at least, which I think is the way it should be, if they're wet, they're dirty. Like if you wash them and they're not fully dry yet, they're dirty. Doesn't matter. Because I mean you can't work with wet brushes.
Right.
But only that, like anything that's wet carries bacteria. So if they're still wet, still, they're still dirty. And so usually you just want to use like regular soap and water works. As long as you get most of the pigment out, well, all the pigment out. And then I usually like to spray them with alcohol as well. There's also this brush cleaner that's really nice. It's called Cinema Secrets brush cleaner. And it's this neon blue. And it looks terrifying and not safe. But trust me, it is. It kills bacteria really nicely. It's a little harsh on the brushes, but it's worth it. Like even just a spritz, and I just feel better using it on someone else because it's actually clean. Just because it looks clean doesn't mean it is. So just giving like that little spritz of alcohol and Cinema Secrets, it's just puts me at ease that I'm not spreading anything. Right? Because I mean, like I've had models come back to me and they're like, hey, like, I got an eye infection, like, after, and, like, I can guarantee them that I am not the cause, right? Because I keep my stuff clean. But at the same time, like, I've met with models who've worked with other artists who, like, there was this one model, she contacted me, and she was so hesitant about working with me because the last time she had worked with an artist, she got an eye infection, and she had just had LASIK. And so it reversed her LASIK.
And that's not cheap.
No.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That's a couple grand an eye.
Yes. So she was really worried about working with an artist because she didn't trust us anymore.
Oh, I don't blame her.
Yeah, no, me neither. And so like, I get it. But at the same time, so it's like, it's not even just me. It's like, like the makeup industry as a whole, like, it's like a reputation thing. You just want to show that everyone is clean, everyone knows what they're doing, no one's spreading infections. Because it's so easy. It's so easy. And it's just, don't double dip. Sanitize with 70% alcohol. Wash your brushes. And you should be fine. Right?
Yeah.
Not that hard. Not that hard.
How long do you spend cleaning then?
Oh my God.
That's the hard part.
And it goes a couple hours from that response.
Well, okay, so, depends on how many people I have in a shoot.
Let's say 1 person studio shoot.
Okay, 1 person studio shoot. I'll usually use around a dozen brushes. So that takes, well, that's not that much.
Bro, it's painted, man.
Right?
Bob Ross.
Yeah, you have to like load the brush. No mistakes, just happy accidents.
Couple clouds up there, a couple trees.
Happy little tree.
Beautiful.
But I'll spend around 15 minutes cleaning those brushes. And I usually clean as I go. So like if I'm done using a palette, I'll just spray it, close it, we're done. But then usually like if I've had like a big shoot where I've had like recently I did what I called a mega shoot. I had 4 models that day. And it was all creative, like a photographer friend of mine, Shane DaCosta. We rented a studio along with a friend of mine. She's a hairstylist, so we all kind of came together and like just hashed it out. So we had 4 models, and at the end, I was out of brushes. Like I have around, I'd say like 70 brushes total.
Jeez.
But that's like enough brushes to do like around 4 people.
Yeah.
But like by the 4th person, I was using that Cinema Secrets brush cleaner to like spot clean.
Yeah.
Just because I didn't have anything else. Like I had, I still wanted to do good work. And so like the brush cleaner, the Cinema Secrets, 10 out of 10 would definitely recommend. It's really great just for like on the spot. But by the end of that shoot, when I got home, I washed like 70 brushes. And so that took me an hour.
Oh, easily. Jeez.
Yeah. And then I took everything apart and I cleaned everything. Because after a shoot like that, like everything's just everywhere. I reorganized everything. I wiped everything down. I cleaned the outside of my products too, just because like even if you have like an eyeshadow palette and you spritz it with alcohol and there's like residue of powder everywhere, it doesn't look clean.
Right, yeah.
Right? So it's like how's the client supposed to know that it's clean?
Mm-hmm.
Everything has to look clean. Like, even if it is clean, it has to look clean.
Yeah.
Like, I can't stress hygiene enough. I cannot stress hygiene enough.
I get what you're saying. So, any cool projects you've done so far? Or you want to do?
Oh, want to do all the time. Have done? Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, well, this isn't really like a project that I've done, but I met someone that's worked with Rihanna.
Shit.
Yeah. So Rihanna's personal makeup artist, her name is Priscilla Ono.
Okay.
Her assistant, she graduated from my program.
Damn.
Yeah.
Shit.
So she came in and she taught like a master class on like how to, like, it was focused on like darker skin tones and like Asian eyes, which are supposedly difficult, but I don't think so, but up for debate. But yeah, so it was really interesting. She came in, she was in town for a couple of days and we snatched her up, and that was really fun. I learned a lot from her. Just because like she literally has touched Rihanna's face, so can't deny.
Some types of skills.
So her name is Jasmine Williams.
Okay.
So she's pretty great. What else have I done? A couple brand shoots here and there, did some clothing shoots. So it's hard getting like started in a new city just because I don't really know too many people, but getting my name out there, so making moves.
Yeah, always.
Hustling hard.
Any upcoming projects?
Yeah. So I'm hoping to get some assisting jobs with some more established artists. So there's a couple artists that I really admire in Toronto. And I met a couple of them. So I'm gonna hopefully hop onto some shoots, start networking from there. So I'm really excited about that. Nothing's like set in stone yet, but so I'm not gonna like ruin my chances. But no, I am really excited to start working with them. Just because like I've been following like this one particular artist for like since 2014, and she makes these like videos on YouTube to like she makes like product reviews and like tutorials, but from like a professional perspective.
Oh, okay.
Like a lot of the videos online are just like how to apply makeup to yourself, but she does it from the professional side of things. And so I've literally been watching her for like 5 years.
Jesus.
So, and then I realized that she's in Toronto, and so sent her a DM, and here we are. So the power of social media.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, so I'm really excited.
Still recording?
Yeah.
Guess it.
Yeah. Okay, we good?
Yeah.
So I had a question, like, what are the things you wish photographers or model would do?
Yes, know what they want.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So like if you have a vision that you know that you want to execute, cool. Have some pictures. That usually really helps artists just because we're pretty visual. For the model, skincare. Take care of your skin. There are a lot of times that like models have come with like super dry skin like around their mouths or something, and it's like now I have to spend time to like clean that off. And it's like sometimes like I had a model who had like an eczema flare up, and like she can't control that. Yeah. So I'm okay with that. But sometimes it's like if you call yourself a model, that's your job full time. Take care of your skin. Just because that's that's you have to put that's your face literally. So it's your brand, so you have to look your best, and so it just makes my job easier if they're fully like if they clean their face that morning, they've exfoliated, they've put on like whatever regular skincare that usually puts like moisturizer, lotion, whatever they do. So that really helps me. Photographers, I like it when photographers are really nicely organized. So like while they're setting up their studio station, I can be doing the makeup. So like it's more like it's efficient. Yeah. If everyone's getting ready at the same time. I've known photographers who like they're all set up before I even show up. And then they're like complaining because I'm doing my job. Yeah, and they have nothing to do, right? So it's like, I get it, you're bored. But also you could have asked me to come earlier to be more efficient. Yeah. Right? So not my bad. Like not my mistake. No, so just be prepared, be efficient. Wash your face.
And then everyone will be like, ask your MUA how much time it takes.
Yes, yeah.
Because I always give an hour, give or take, but sometimes it takes more depending on the look.
Yeah, well, if it takes more, I'm not a good artist. Usually, like, if you're on set, so, okay, this is a saying that we have in my program. Every minute you spend is $14,000 out the door. For, like, for film and stuff, like, every minute, the studio is spending $14,000. So you need to move quick. And so usually, like, I try to time it to, like, half an hour. Yeah. Half an hour for hair, half an hour for makeup. So it usually takes an hour. Yeah. But an hour for makeup, that's a lot. Yeah. That's a lot. But at the same time, everyone starts somewhere, so can't complain. Exactly. I used to take an hour, so.
Yeah, our shoot.
Yeah.
Things happen. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
So I apologize.
Oh, no worries.
But
that was a mess.
Yeah.
Set up. But yeah, that was not you.
But at the same time, though, it's just like it's been a year since then, and like I've gotten a lot faster, I have to say.
You have to start somewhere. Like
yeah. But yeah, so it's nice to know, like, and for the artists, like I've made this mistake where I'm trying so hard to be like accommodating and be like, yeah, I can totally do it in 20 minutes. Don't lie, because then like. Be honest about how long.
More frustrated.
Just be honest about how long it actually takes you, so they can plan accordingly. And like, if just be honest. Yeah. Like, oh my god, I've made the mistake. Like, and I've told them like, yeah, I can totally do that, super quick, no problem. And then obviously, like, I'm not taking. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not done in that amount of time.
Always have a buffer too.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Like things always go wrong. Oh yeah. You can try your best, but things will always go wrong. Oh my goodness. I have some stories. I have some horror stories. Oh my god.
Do you want to talk about them?
I do want to. This happened a couple weeks ago where, so I have a personal rule. I only use what's in my kit because I know how it works. I know how it works with other products. I know how they interact, and I'm comfortable. It's my baby. I've nurtured it. It's everything to me. But then I had that model with the eczema flare up. And she had her own foundation. I was like, you know what? She already has really sensitive skin, and if she uses this every day, I don't want to aggravate her eczema, so let me use it. And it looked beautiful in person, and then we get in front of the camera, And she was a darker skinned model, and we get in from the camera, she looks white.
Oh.
She was white. Like
I've seen that before.
The flashback, like it was so bad. And she was wearing like a pretty high collar, so it was literally white and then brown. I was like, oh my God. And then I couldn't figure it out. And like we were like doing test shots, and I was like, what is happening? And the photographer's asking me like, can you like make her darker? And I was like, yeah. Like I was freaking out, and I was thinking like, is it the lighting? Is it like overexposed? Or is it like a mix of the two? I couldn't figure it out. And then I realized the foundation that the model brought had SPF. Sunscreen.
Yep.
And like the way sunscreen works is that it reflects light.
Yeah.
It reflects the UV rays so that it protects your skin. So it was reflecting the light. And so I literally had to I kept the eyes and the lips and the eyebrows, but I removed everything else. Because there was no way of fixing it. I was adding powder on top of it, like darker powder, to try to like balance it out. But because it was underneath, I had to take it off. And it was, the one time I bend my rule, the one time I make a movie, it was the worst. The shots came out great though at the end. So like lesson learned. And that's such a rookie mistake. Like
it'll always, it's those little things you don't, you're like, okay, whatever, this time.
Amateur hour.
Right?
Amateur
hour. It always happens.
And it's like in theory, like I always know, like don't use SPF because like it reflects.
Yeah.
But in that moment, like I didn't think, because like I had good intentions too. I didn't want to like make her skin worse, because eczema is really painful. Yeah. But the art.
Shit happens.
Shit happens. You always do some stupid thing, right? And you won't do it again.
And like, now that I've had an actual experience, I will never do that again.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, it's one thing to know in theory, it's another thing to actually make the mistake.
Yeah.
But it's better now than like way down the line.
Yeah.
Like this was just like a shoot with a photography student at Sheridan. So it was for her assignment. So, you know, but like we had the studio for 3 hours. And so we were about an hour in. So like to redo that took me about 15 more minutes. But so like we still had a long time to shoot. But like had it been for like a paid job or something like that, I could have kissed that job goodbye. So I'm glad it happened then and not on something else.
So how did you actually get into doing makeup?
Oh my God. So funny story. I was about to go into political science. And then
Politics.
A week before I was supposed to move to Montreal, I realized that even though I love to study politics, I could never actually work in it. Like I would, like, what job can I do? Like I just couldn't picture myself actually like sitting at a desk all day. And then I took 1.5 years off. And then I realized, like in that time, I realized that I was doing makeup for money anyway. Like I was already doing it.
Yeah.
Like in high school, like for prom and like school dances and whatnot.
Okay,
like my friends would ask me, and like I would never go to those, but they would all be wearing my makeup. And it was not professional, not hygienic, but it was just starting out, right? So I was doing it anyway, and then I started working at some like beauty counters, stuff like that, and so I learned from there. And I slowly built up my clientele, and then I kept getting the question, are you certified? And I was like, no. And so that's why I decided to go to school, getting more of like an actual, like, you know, it's a certification.
Yeah.
I don't, like, in the world of makeup, you don't actually need to be licensed.
Right.
Makeup licensing doesn't exist in Canada. In some states in America, they do require licensing. But in Canada, they don't. For hair, they do, though. But just to say though, like some people still feel more comfortable if they have like a certification or something like that. So I decided to go for it, and it's a 2-year program, and honestly, just doing it every day like forces me to get better. So I don't regret it at all. Plus, I wanted to get like film and TV rather than more like personal clients, for like events and stuff. So, and there isn't really like a film and TV industry in Ottawa, unfortunately. So it just made sense. Everything kind of fell into place. So I moved to Oakville. So I'm just going to say Toronto. But it's still close enough that I can still work in that industry. So everything kind of made sense. Yeah. Here we are.
Working out for you so far. So
yeah. I'm doing great.
So how do you approach like a look when you know it's going to go black and white?
Okay. For black and white photography?
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I kind of love doing black and white. So I always ask if they're gonna want the pictures in color as well as black and white, because you can technically do like green blush, and it would work because it goes gray.
Okay, yeah.
So you can do crazy colors, and it's so much fun. But no one ever knows. But if they want the color, the shots in color too, then it doesn't work.
Because gray is medium gray. Green is medium gray.
Yeah. So you can do whatever you want, and like as long as it stays in black and white.
Yeah. Some whack pictures.
Yeah. So I actually really love doing black and white photography because it's so much fun, because I can just do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And no one cares. I mean, be fast. Be fast. Don't be too ambitious. The general thing though is like I'll take pictures on my phone as I go, and like I convert them just on my phone just to make sure that everything's looking good. Yeah. I keep track of that sort of thing. I actually don't use blush on black and white photography. No, you don't. Just because it looks gray, and so like they have these big like circles of gray on their cheeks, and it's just like it doesn't look good. And so like in person they'll look kind of dead, just because like they'll have like contour, and they'll have like, and you want to stay matte too. You don't want any highlight for black and white photography, because then it just looks like a really bright white in like certain spots. So you want to stay like matte for black and white photography. But for blush, they just look gray. So in person though, they look kind of weird. But
that's fair.
The end product is what's you know.
So let's say like a photographer is working for model and they don't have like an MUA. What would be tips, or like I know like matte, but like what would be tips to say for the makeup for the model to do for a black and white look?
Hire a makeup artist.
obviously.
But you know, if the budget allows, right?
Yeah.
If the model's doing her makeup herself, just skip blush. Just do it on your own. Skip blush, skip highlight.
Okay.
And don't go too dark. Like even though I said that for like studio lighting, a lot of the pigment gets blurred away for black and white. If you use something like dark brown, it looks pitch black on camera when you convert it. So you want to use, like, if you're doing, like, for example, like a smoky eye, don't use black. Use like a medium brown.
Yeah.
Because on camera it'll look a lot darker.
Yeah.
For black and white. So in like for lips too, like I find go lighter than you think you would.
Yeah.
Just because when you convert, like if you have like a bright red lipstick, it can kind of look like it just looks black.
Yeah.
When it converts. One thing that's really fun about black and white though is playing with neon. When you convert neon to black and white, they turn white.
Oh shit.
So you can have like neon green.
Yeah.
And it turns white. So
yeah, that's sick.
Just because that's how like the light interacts, right?
Yeah.
So neon reflects too much light, and so I find that so much fun.
That's sick.
So next project.
100%. We're on it.
But
I mean, I got black and white film, so.
Oh, there you go. That's gonna be sick.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say like stay away from too bright colors if you're doing it on your own and you don't really know what you're doing. Nothing too bright, nothing too dark.
Yeah, so more neutral.
Yeah, more neutral. But if you want to
stuff.
have fun and go with some like blue contour, you can, because it's fun.
Yeah.
Some light blue.
Sweet. Good to know.
Yeah.
So, what are your goals in like the next couple of years with
Oh
makeup?
my God, why do you have to ask me that? It's like, what's my life plan?
Yeah.
Come on, we need a 5-year description.
That is hard. I have no idea. I want to join a union. I've applied, but I don't know if I'll get in. I'm hoping I will. Maybe once I graduate, they'll be more likely to actually take me on.
Yeah,
short term, keep assisting, learning from other artists. Because even though like I'm in school now, it's completely different when you're actually doing it. And like when you're on set, like you're just thrown into the wolves, right? Baptism by fire. And so you just learn everything so much faster. So I really want to keep assisting, keep learning, and then eventually like I'll build up enough confidence to just start doing things on my own. And like I have personal clients here and there, but mainly like I want to keep learning. Right, always. I'm never gonna stop learning. But so I'm still at the point where I'm like trying to figure out what my personal style is. And so eventually I'm sure like I'll find my niche.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Don't know what that is yet. So
someday
we're working on it.
So would you be likely more to be just like your own makeup artist? Like even if it's unionized or whatever, would you rather just work like hands on, or would you rather own a couple like a studio, like a studio or a company, and then run your own stuff?
I don't want to be responsible for anyone else. Some people love the like management aspect, but I've never been interested in like business or anything. Even though like I'm doing it now because I have to, not because I want to. So, but I know like some girls in my program, they like this one girl, we call her Lemon.
All right.
Well, Rachel Lemon. It's actually her last name.
Okay.
But Lemon's just so much cuter. She wants to open up a bridal studio. So she's in the makeup program. She wants nothing to do with makeup.
Yeah.
So like she wants to run like a team of artists and have like her own shop and like create like a really nice atmosphere. So like that's her goal. And like that's I could never do that.
Yeah.
But like for me, like I just want to do my own thing. And
that's fair.
You know,
that's fair.
Just be me.
Yeah, because if you don't have that entrepreneur like
I don't have
feeling, then like
I don't have
because you won't be doing makeup. Maybe 15% of the time you'll be doing
exactly.
it. So it's like if you love makeup, then do that. Don't try to manage it.
Yeah, no, I need like that's why the union aspect really appeals to me because like I'd have an agent that would represent me.
Yeah,
he'd tell me where to be and when. And I just
show up and do your shit.
Exactly. Like I'm not like I've never been one to like manage people. I'm not. Yeah. You know.
That's fair.
I'm left brain. You know. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Fair enough. You want to go into questions that people have?
Yeah.
Sure. Go for
From
it.
the stories.
Go to the Instagram world and see what.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what people want to ask me, or a makeup artist in general.
So Tasmatic. Photography says, how can one approach a makeup artist to collab, especially when it's free or cheap?
Ooh, okay.
Actually, that's a good question.
That is a really good question. I can't answer for everyone. Usually, though, like, so I know some artists that will specifically say on like their Instagram bio, like, no TFP, only paid, don't even bother. That's just insulting at that point.
Yeah.
But like if you find like an artist, try to find an artist that's at the same level as you in your career. Like don't seek out an experienced artist if you're just starting out. It doesn't make sense and it feels like you're just, you know, there's too much of a there's too much of a difference in skill. Even though it's two completely different skills. There's just too much of a difference. So like try to find someone that's like, at the same level. And honestly, like I get DMs from like photographers who are saying like, hey, like I'm just starting out. Here, like have a concept. Do not, that's a big one. Don't DM a makeup artist and be like, hey, I have a shoot. Elaborate, you know, have an idea.
It's the same thing we get from models.
Yeah. So like if a model like contacts you and you're like, hey, do you want to shoot me? Or, okay, that sounds bad. Or do you want to shoot with me?
Take your pick.
Yeah. And it, like they don't have any idea. Like it's hard to go off. So like have an idea, and then be upfront. Like don't try to be like, you know, like oh well you would be compensated in high quality images. Yeah. No, just be like this is for both our portfolios. Just be straight up, be honest, and people respect that. I think like I just, you know, it's as long as you're upfront about what you're looking for, you're upfront about your skill level, you're upfront about what you're looking for, then it should be fine. Also ask your artist what they're looking for. Yeah. So like I can't tell you the amount of times where I've been approached by photographers and then the end pictures are like waist up. That doesn't do anything for me. Right. Because I need like close up, like shoulders up, because from waist up I can't even see what I've done. Right. So like to be considerate and like actually take shots that would benefit the makeup artist as well. So even though it's like your vision, your concept, you know, you still have to, you know, you brought them on. Be nice to them.
even grabbing like behind the scenes shots while the makeup artist is doing work.
Yeah, that is really appreciated from photographers too. And like that's just the thing. Like they're people. They're nice. They're just trying to build their book. So yeah, just be upfront. Be upfront.
And Hidden_beats asked fave brand and why it's better than others.
Ooh. Fave brand, that's a hard one.
No brand deals.
Yeah, oh, I can't. I'm not giving free advertisement. Oh my goodness. Fave brand.
We'll send him an invoice later.
How many viewers do you get?
We don't talk about that.
Enough, you know.
No, oh no. Okay.
I mean, if people subscribe, you'd be getting more.
There you go. You heard the man.
Subscribe.
Subscribe, like, comment, share with your friends.
Punch that bell button.
Get those notifications.
Or just don't do any of it.
Yeah. Right. Honestly.
Whatever you feel.
Even the views.
Double tap on the dislike button. You're good to go.
Okay, favorite brand. I don't think I could pick one. Generally though,
or even what brand do you use the most? Unless they're all pretty much the same.
Yeah, I don't know. I have like types of products that I really like, but like the consistent thing about them is that they're all like professional grade. And so like usually like makeup that you'll find at like Sephora or like Shoppers, in terms of pigment, they range between like 5 to 30% pigment, whereas professional like products have 50% pigment and up. So like you need so much less to get the same effect.
Okay.
And so it's just faster. It's just so much better. So like brands that I use often would be like Cinema Secrets. I use them a lot. I use like RCMA for foundation. I really like Viseart for eyeshadows. They have really great eyeshadows. But like Viseart, it's like for 12 eyeshadows, it's $100.
Wow.
So it's a lot. So if we're looking at more like the affordable, and just because like, you know, everyone has to start somewhere, I actually really like Morphe every once in a while. They have like 32 eyeshadows for $30.
That's not bad.
So it's a lot better, and like they have very good pigment. The only thing is that sometimes they stain. So like when you take them off, there's still like a residue. So that's, you know, iffy. But they are really good to get started, and like you get a good range of colors to start off. If I had to like invest in one thing though, it would be foundation.
Okay.
Invest in foundation, just because like it's the biggest space on the face. It's like this actual skin. So you don't want to use something cheap. You don't want to use something that like, you know, you want to really invest in something that looks nice. And so like I really like the RCMA foundations. They're actually, so they come in like a pan. Usually you'll see like a liquid.
Right.
But they're actually like a very creamy type of consistency. You only get like 0.8 grams per pan, which is not a lot. It's really not a lot, but it's 50% pigment. So you can actually dilute it with, like they sell a thinner, but it's so quick and there's so much pigment that like it does the job so quickly and it looks so beautiful.
Okay.
Sweet. So I really like that one. And so that you get 18 colors for $75, I think. Okay. Which realistically, like when I first started, I thought that it was like more important to have like brand names.
Yeah.
Which is not the case. But I bought like 6 foundation shades. Like for like it was a pretty big range. But it was 6 foundation shades at $50 a bottle each. So it was like $300, give or take, for 6 foundations.
That's pricey.
Yeah, but for this palette, you can have 18 for $75.
Right.
And it's so much better than what I had. So I definitely recommend RCMA. Yeah.
Is that stuff you go online to get, or is it like there's a special store for
Yeah,
that?
you have to go online. Okay. The one distributor that I would really recommend is Camera Ready. Okay. They're called camerareadycosmetics.com. They're based in the States, but they do have like a pro discount. Okay. So like depending on like your level, if you can prove that you're an actual like working artist, then you get some discounts, which is nice.
That's not bad.
So nice. Like I think I have 30% off for them off their whole website,
which is pretty much duty tax or duty.
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm paying it like at cost.
Yeah.
So I really like them. There's also Jordan, which is I think they're in Scarborough. Okay. So they're pretty great, and they also have like their own brand of cosmetics too. They have like the No Name brand. Yeah. They actually have really good products though. Their eyeliner is really great. It's so smooth. She's smooth. So I do really like that eyeliner more than anything else. I've had that pot since like couple months ago, and it's already like halfway done.
Shit.
So I use it all the time. So Jordan.
There you go. You know your plugs.
But they do have other brands, and they retail pro brands too, so they're nice.
Okay, that's good.
Honestly, it's hard to find products that actually like perform.
Without testing them out.
And like when you buy, it's so scary to buy online because you never know what you're gonna get. And like if you don't like it, you know. But that's also why I like Camera Ready Cosmetics, because you can buy samples.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So you, instead of buying like the entire like bottle, which let's say like for example, there's this brand Pat McGrath. She's an artist, and she also has her brand called Pat McGrath. Her foundation is $68 American. Yep. So it's around like 80 something Canadian.
Yeah.
I hear it's great. But if I wanted to add it to my kit, no. But then I can go on like Camera Ready Cosmetics, and they have like, you can buy like a little jar. So it's like 2 or 3 applications, and it's like $5.
Oh,
so it's way better. And so you can test out like which color. So like, for example, like I know artists who predominantly work on lighter skin tones just because that's just their demographic. And I know some artists that work predominantly on darker skin tones. And I know some artists that work on everyone. And so like, why would the artist that's working mostly on like darker skin tones bother buying the lightest shade?
Right.
Doesn't make sense. It's just, they're not going to use it, and it's a waste of money. And so they can actually try out shades that benefit them and like easy to mix. So like personally, I like to go with foundations that have a neutral undertone. So I can add more yellow, more red, depending on who's sitting in my chair.
Okay.
So like it depends. And I find it's easier to mix if I have a neutral undertone first, rather than having like a yellow base and trying to make it red. Doesn't make sense. But that's just me. That's just the way I approach it. But yeah, samples are great. What I've done too in the past, I've literally gone to Sephora and asked for samples of like 6 shades. And like, it's obviously not for me.
Right.
And like, they kind of give me like the side eye because they're not supposed to do that. But at the same time, like, I need to try out different things. Like there's so much money that's going into it. Like at this point, my kit is probably worth like $5,000 or $6,000.
Jeez,
yeah, which compared to like photographers, like that's one cheap light.
Or a camera.
Yeah, that's like one camera. But at the same time though, like it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it's money that like I can't use that product forever. Like it runs out. So I like to switch it up. I like to try it out too before I buy. So yeah, buy samples. That's honestly, go to Mac, go to like a counter or something, and ask them like, can I have like a foundation or a sample of this one, this one, this one, this one, this one? Yeah. Just try it out. At least like, and even then, like, I know some artists that work predominantly on like lighter skin tones, and they can't afford having darker foundations because it would just go to waste because they wouldn't use it, and then they expire, they're done. So they go to counters and they ask for samples of the darker skin tones or like the darker foundation. So just in case it happens, at least they have it. Yeah. Right. So they're not, SOL where they're, that's embarrassing. Yeah. Like, another story. Go for it. Go for it. I was on a shoot a couple months ago. It was for like a dance costume company. Okay. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it was fun. And there was this artist. There were the 2 of us, and there were 14 girls in total, 14 models, and I noticed that I kept getting like all the Asian girls, all like the darker skinned girls, and I was like wondering like what is happening, like I can do it. I have like everything in my kit for it, but I was like wondering like a lot of these girls are white, so I peek around the corner, and I see that this artist has 4 foundation shades. And they were essentially like all my skin tone in like different undertones. So I was like, what is happening? And she was Pakistani.
Like the lady was?
The artist was Pakistani. So I was like, she doesn't even have her own skin tone. She only has like white A, white B, white C, and white D. Like, I was so shocked. And I was like,
who does her makeup?
Yeah, she couldn't even do her own.
Not her.
Yeah. I was so confused. And I was like, that's insulting to so many of them because like she like. Wow.
At least have a spread and you can mix them.
Yeah.
Somewhat. It would make more sense.
Like, even if you have only 4 foundation shades in your kit, at least have like light, medium, dark, really dark. Yeah. So at least you can, mix in the middle. But she only had 4 like Caucasian shades, and it was so bad. And I was like, so I came
I
up.
guess that's her clientele.
I mean, I looked really good on that job because I
can't complain.
Yeah, but I was like, but she's established though. Like she was the key artist on that shoot, and I was like the backup.
Thank God.
Yeah, thank God I was here. Save the day. But and it's like that's not even uncommon though. Like the amount of people who don't even like who say that like doing dark skin is difficult. It's like it's not. It's just basic color theory. It's not that hard.
Yeah, you just gotta actually
Learn
put it to practice, or else it is hard because you've never done it before.
Yeah, if you've never done
right?
it, like it's a bit intimidating, sure. Like it's just like doing something you've never done before, but it's like, you know, just practice. Like they're people.
Yeah.
And even from like a business point of view, here's a fun fact: Black women actually make up like 30% of the beauty industry. They are the biggest demographic of consumers. So, like, they are a huge business opportunity. Mm-hmm. See, and I just said I'm not about business.
You know your shit.
Right? But, so, like, they're a huge potential client.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to tap into that? Right? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, not to just mention that they are people.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, oh, man. But
make more money.
No, exactly. Yeah. But I've also heard of some artists actually charging more if you have a dark skin tone because it's supposedly difficult. Yeah. It's like, I'm sorry for my incompetence. Yeah. You must now pay more.
Wow.
Like, that's essentially what it is. It's terrible.
Oh. Key tip, don't work with other people.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Simple as that.
Just know how to do basic things. Like, it's not that hard.
Yeah. Or if you don't have the shade, just make sure they know ahead of time.
Yeah, and like, speaking of like what to do for like as a photographer and talking to your artist, like if you have a darker model, like tell your artist.
Oh yeah, heads up.
Like personally, I find it a little bit insulting, but at the same time, I understand why you should do it. Like I had a shoot a couple weeks ago, and I got a message that morning saying, by the way, the model has like medium tan skin. Yeah. Make sure to have foundations. And like at this point I have 16 foundations in my kit. So like I have a wide range and I was fine. But then the photographer, she was so relieved because she said the last time that she worked with an artist and she had a darker model, they didn't have her shade. Yeah. And so the whole shoot just had to go.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's why I always double check no matter what. Even if it sounds like a stupid question, I'd rather ask it
be sure.
than be like, oh, we're screwed. Or even completely screwed.
Everyone has Instagram. Here's the model we're working with.
Yeah, it's so easy. Yeah. To just like send the profile.
If I'm getting an MUA, I'm always going to send a profile picture so she knows what she has to work with, so she knows how to do it ahead of time.
Like,
and it's even like even not even just skin tone, just like eye shape.
Facial.
Just bone structure. Like for example, like if someone has like really deep set eyes and you're asking me to do a smoky eye, not the best combination, but I can make it work. Because like the darkness actually recedes the eyes more, and if their eyes are already pretty deep set, you know, so I wouldn't do like a black, I do like a dark brown, right? So there's ways of adapting it, and even though like you could show up on set and make those adaptations there, but it's always better to know beforehand so you can think about it, right?
Well, it's like a photographer going on set not knowing who the model is.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I'm working with this model. Okay.
Now I gotta switch.
I would have. I would have switched it up if I know.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean,
you should be able to do it, but like still.
No, for sure. Well, it's like I was working on a shoot, and I just learned this recently. Like we were doing beauty shoots, and I was working on a shoot with a model who was quite dark, and then next to us there was like I think she was Korean, the model.
Okay, yeah.
And so like she still had like a medium skin tone, but she wasn't nearly as dark.
Yeah.
And their setup, they had like 2 lights. They had the main light, and then they had like the reflector. Yeah. And it was fine. And then on our setup, I think we had like 6 lights. Yeah. And I was like, why aren't we doing that? And then they're just like, it wouldn't work. I'm like, well, why not? And they're like, well, our model's dark. And I was like, oh, but it makes sense, right? Because like the light doesn't reflect the same, and so like that's one thing that I need to know is like I need to learn more about lighting because I don't like it affects my job too.
It's key. It's number one thing. Whatsoever.
Like so I've been putting a lot more effort into like actually learning like what lighting does, and like how lighting affects different situations. So because
it makes a 2D object 3D. That is lighting.
Yeah.
So if you know how to shape it, then you can shape your model the way you want it to. Yeah. Same thing with light for dark.
Yeah. And it's like light and shadows key.
Yeah, if you master that, you're set. You're set.
Honestly. You're in the bag.
There you go.
Man. All right. Oh, is it lightning round?
Yeah.
Oh.
Why not? Let's go for it.
All right. Hit me those questions.
You asked for it.
Yeah. You ready?
Okay.
All right. Famous person you'd like to do makeup on?
Angelina Jolie.
I was expecting Rihanna, not gonna lie.
Really? No, Angelina Jolie's bone structure. Oh, beautiful.
Best piece of advice you've received?
This is gonna sound very pessimistic, but you're the only one that's making your life miserable. Honestly, like if you want to do something, do it. If you're not doing it, that's on you.
I can get behind that.
Right?
I can get behind that. Morning or night person?
Usually night person, but I need to switch over to being a morning person.
Don't we all?
Right?
I feel you on that. I feel
right?
you on that.
4 a.m. call times. Ugh.
Oh. If you could live anywhere, where would it be?
Korea.
Dinner with 3 celebs. Who are you picking?
Rihanna.
Okay.
Angelina Jolie. And who else is like beautiful? I don't know. Gigi Hadid.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful faces. I just need to look next to beautiful people.
Best learning experience so far?
Actually assisting. Being on set, just doing it. Yeah.
First thing you'd buy if you won $1 million?
More makeup.
All right.
I literally have a list of everything I want to buy.
Right.
So,
who would you call if you got put into jail?
Someone with enough money to bail me out.
Okay. Fair enough. That's a new one. That's a new one.
Right?
I guess like Mac or PC.
Not really relatable whatsoever.
I mean, to be fair, okay, I've never used a Mac.
Okay.
So
suck it.
So PC.
But I mean, I hear that Macs are really good for like content, like editing and like colors and such.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the go.
Yeah. Also, they look really cool. So.
Yeah.
They're smooth.
Go. Yeah. What would you tell your younger self?
Just do it.
Right.
Like, yeah, I was afraid.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like when I first started, like I was nervous about everything. It's just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. So that's the end of lightning round. You survived.
There you
survived.
Go. A lot quicker than we did.
Right?
Yeah, definitely a lot quicker than me and you.
That took 15-20 minutes. Easy.
Lightning round for you guys?
Oh my god. And we wrote the questions.
It was just sad.
Oh man.
So like, I don't know.
Who would I want to shoot?
Yeah.
Right? Who would you want to shoot?
Oh, don't even ask me.
I'm asking.
I have no idea.
I'm running with Drake.
Ooh.
You want Drake? Yeah.
I want to like fill in his hairline. Like I want to look. I love his hairline. I want to look at it. Like that can't be natural. That can't be his natural hairline. It's too straight. It's too smooth. And it's too like it's even.
It's smooth.
It's even. Look, the color is even. He has to fill it in.
Oh, probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Anyway, that's my
Breaking
guess.
news: Drake filled in.
Drake is not natural.
Yeah.
Oh, no idea, man.
There's no famous person you'd like to shoot?
Yeah.
I got one for you. Logic. There you go.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You kind of look like Logic, not gonna lie.
I know. With his haircut now, yeah. Oh, God, I'm in sick shoot.
Oh, man.
Almost happened.
Blues Fest, yeah.
It almost happened?
Well, I mean, it could have happened.
I Blues Fest, right?
Yeah.
Because I could have got in, but I wouldn't be taking pictures. I'd be helping out with broadcasting.
Right.
Because I had a connection.
Yeah,
but
I had
that didn't end up happening.
Networking.
I shot Anders. If you know Anders.
I do not know Anders.
Okay.
But sounds cool.
He's from Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
I was on stage shooting that.
Yeah. I shot Keys and Crates.
Don't know that.
Yeah, I know. they're like middle low names. They're still
They've
up
done
there.
stuff for like Tory Lanez and shit like that.
Yeah, but like... they're still they're middle. Yeah. They're not like your top 10. Like everybody knows them, right?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Honestly, though, you have to start somewhere.
Very true. Very true.
Right, and if you've already shot them and you're 20.
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
We out here.
You're hustling.
Doing everything.
Grinding.
Try to.
Right.
Yeah. Do you have any questions for us?
Okay. Yes. What is your best lighting tip?
Oh, God.
Because again, like I don't know enough about lighting. So like what's the one thing that I should know about lighting?
It's hard for us to even answer that because we don't use lighting that much.
No?
I'm learning it. Like I'm in the middle of the process of learning it.
Yeah, learning it just for like video wise and stuff like that.
But
most photo shoots try and do it natural.
learn it for depends what it all
yeah
right
like
there's so many variables.
Okay.
It's like if you can rephrase that, I can somewhat
so like studio lighting, like more like geared towards studio. What should I know?
Are you going like commercial?
Let's do commercials.
You're talking like headshots?
Sure.
She's just like, whatever. I mean, for makeup, I would set up if you're doing beauty, ring light. Because the lighting will most likely be even when you're doing a studio shoot. So at least you're matching it to that. Yes.
You disagree?
Depends. You can go like a 1-to-2 ratio, like a 1-to-4, depending on what you're going for.
It depends on beauty. But mostly, like, if you're doing, like, actual makeup ads or anything like that, it's usually beauty dish on top, so you get the butterfly line. So it's a higher-end light. So you have, like, that nice, beautiful... So it shapes the face. And that's how you usually shoot it. Or you can get super interested and get, like, that crazy contrast and get, like...
You can run, like, a Rembrandt, which has, like, the little, like, triangle.
Well, that's more for actors, for, like, male... Usually, The Rembrandt, So it's like more if you look at any Marvel covers, you'll see that.
You'll see.
Right? Like you'll see like that crazy light.
And
it's
then
dark, but there's a little bit on the cheek,
Okay. How do they light men and women differently though?
Ooh. So men is mostly more
it's harsher, right?
Depending on right?
For
like,
what you want.
These days it all depends on what you're shooting, right? If you're doing beauty, it'll be different than if you're
man, you want it softer.
Or if you can do like more like cologne or whatever kind of like, it'll be more like harsh side
that
light,
sexy vibe,
So you'll get that like half cut, which is like 1-to-2 or whatnot.
1-to-2, 1-to-4, 1-to-8, whatever you're going for.
So numbers. It'd be like nice bright light. But then like if I don't know, you probably can't see here, but like it would crazy light here and it would fade off.
See on, like,
so it's softer.
Face.
It's like it wraps.
It's more
around.
like a gradient rather than like.
Exactly.
Okay, but then how do they like to shoot women? Like softer. So
it's either like
soft
we have
light,
here, like we have a nice big dome, which is nice and spread soft light.
That was like 8 feet wide. It was insane.
They're huge soft lights.
But like those are more softer lights, or you can go like if you're doing beauty, you have a beauty dish, which is just like a metal dish.
Okay.
And it's
I think I've seen those. Yeah.
So they're closer up, so it puts way more light into the face.
It's really bright.
It's really bright, but you get that like nice clean look, but there's sharp shades. Shades.
Yeah.
But there's all different
there's so
types,
much
right?
to do,
But definitely use a ring light if you're running anything.
I try to bring my ring light if I'm doing shoots.
No, exactly.
It's honestly, it's like a little like briefcase type of thing.
It's a little small.
And it's so easy to just bring up, set up. And so, I mean, we were talking about lighting. Another piece of advice: bring your ring light. There's one. The one I have is just from like Amazon. And
it's a newer one, like what they're called. The small ones.
The brand like NEE. WER,
the
newer. And I think I paid like $50 for it.
Oh, they're
it's something like even though it might not be the best like ring light, at least you have light.
And
if there's nothing worse than doing makeup in the dark.
Exactly.
You need to see what you're
doing.
doing.
No idea what you're doing.
Like do you remember like the no mirror makeup challenge? That was a thing they used to do. Like it was like a YouTube. Do you remember that?
No, I don't. But like it sounds like
so essentially it was like a challenge on social media where people would do their makeup without looking in a mirror.
Oh, you'd be doing your own makeup.
Your own makeup.
That sounds like...
So, like, people's eyebrows would be up here, and, like, nothing was symmetrical. But it's actually a really good exercise to, like, learn your own face. Right?
Never catch me trying to do it, but...
Listen.
I'm listening.
She's convincing you. Oh, man. Yeah, like, lighting tip would be, like, if you're doing a studio, know what your photographer is going to do for lighting. Because if
at least have an idea.
Exactly. If your photographer knows what he's doing for lighting setup, ask him so he can send you pictures so you know how to shape. Like if there's a different way of shaping it, right?
Yeah,
it depends where the lights is. Like if I'm doing like a horror movie, I'm going to shoot from low.
From below,
Like your makeup's going to be completely different for that. If you're going to do a lot of makeup.
Yeah. Like, well, it depends. It depends, right?
Yeah.
And it's like for horror too. It's like if you're doing some special effects too. This is actually a really interesting anecdote from my film teacher. She worked on a film, don't remember what it was, but she was trying to do like a gash.
Okay.
I think it was like on the cheek or something. But the scene was that the person was walking from like one room to another room to another room, and the lighting was different in every room. And she did the gash in the first room.
Yeah.
And it looked great. It looked super real, disgusting and beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And then the actress walked into the second room and you could see the prosthetic.
Yep.
And it was terrible. And then the actress walked into the next room and it looked fine again. But like that middle room was just not a good time. And like they had to scrap the whole scene.
Oh, yeah.
Because like you can't, And so like, she told us this was her like rookie mistake years ago. So, but like she color corrected the prosthetic to look like it blended, but only in that one particular type of light. So
that's why knowing what you're up against, you can
yeah.
So
you can actually adapt.
Yeah.
And like it's not like they could cut the scene to like, so they could do like one room, switch it up, do change it, because that scene was that she was walking through these rooms.
Exactly.
So like there was no way of like editing it. Yeah. Man, know what you're up against. That's a good motto.
Big time.
Right? All right.
Always be 2 times more prepared than you're supposed to.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like, that's how I am on set. My bag is filled with stuff that nobody would bring.
Yeah.
But you have it.
See, in case you need it, though, you have it.
I'm out. I got it.
But if you have it, though, you're the hero. So that's a good reputation on you. So
exactly.
So your reputation is everything, especially in like any artistic field. Like there's a saying that like your portfolio will bring your first job, your reputation will bring you the rest.
Big time.
Yeah.
What you do is your business card.
Yeah.
You screw it up. It looks bad. That's your front line.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And like I didn't realize how small the industry in Toronto actually was, but it's surprisingly small. Yeah. And everyone talks. So like if you mess up on one shoot, everyone knows.
Yeah, same thing with Ottawa.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's even smaller. Yeah.
Holy.
Like, yeah, so just put your best foot forward and damn.
Do you have any other questions for us?
Oh my God, I need to like Google all these lighting terms now.
Yeah, there's a lot to learn about lighting. It's insane.
Oh man. Well, I mean, that's the biggest thing for me. It's like now that I'm moving more into like studio work, I'm just like I know the basics, I think.
Yeah.
But like I need to know what I'm up against.
Yeah, I need to know the terms and like what.
Yeah.
So what would be good would be like setting up like a couple lights even at home, like cheap lights, even if they're just like house lights, and
just
setting
see how
up
they work. Yeah.
For every single light setup, so you know how it looks like on a person, and then do a makeup on the same person, and then change it up.
Yeah.
So you can see how it reacts, and from there you can.
There's actually a video on YouTube that we watched, and it's like someone like it's the one model sitting in the middle, and then like they move the light everywhere, and you can actually see like where the shadows land depending on where the light is. But then it changes if you have like a backlight or like all the. Oh my God.
There's a lot of variables. Yeah. It's insane.
Yeah. So
it's a thing that like it's a lot of effort to put into just learning by yourself, but if you're on the field, you'll see those different light setups and you'll
and that's
slowly
the
understand
experience is the best teacher.
Yeah.
Here's another question: what do you wish makeup artists would do differently? Like, honestly, what's your biggest pet peeve?
I haven't dealt with a lot of them, but pet peeve. I mean, I rather meet up.
Like beforehand,
right? So like I think we met up before.
We did.
Yeah. So I rather meet up with my makeup artist and go over the plan, and like if we were doing sketches, we have it set up. Yeah. Because I'm anal about myself. I like to know exactly how it's going to go. So I'm not like on set like, oh, I actually don't like that look. Yeah. I'm like, this is trash. I'll take the picture. I'm like, oh.
And and it's going for your book. It's you're wasting your time at that point.
So like same with models. Like I like to have that communication and fully understand what's going on, and not just have like a bunch of surprises when it happens.
Yeah. Just be prepared.
So it depends on the makeup artist, but like just
also depends on like the shoot.
On a shoot, but like be on time or be a little bit before.
Yeah. Well, we have another motto: 15 minutes early is on time.
Always.
Right?
Nah.
Not you. He's always way off.
Oh man, honestly, I need to like set my clocks back so that I arrive on time.
People do that.
My mom used to do that.
Oh, like I am just.
I don't like when people do that.
I'm perpetually late, so like I've made myself leave like 15 minutes before I think I need to leave, so then I actually arrive on time.
Same here.
I just drive fast.
I'm always scared of being late. So I'm always early.
Right, yeah, because like if you're late,
it looks bad on you.
Yeah.
I'd rather be there before my client gets there, so I can look around and see what I'm up against before.
Yeah.
Like,
unless like you can't get in the building, but.
Well, no, but like our situation, but yeah.
We couldn't get into the building.
I had the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I arrived at a shoot, and I was sitting outside the studio, and the model and the photographer were both like stuck in traffic. And it's like, Toronto traffic, I get it. Yeah. And like, I believe them. But then like, they showed up like half an hour late, and I was 15 minutes early, so I ended up waiting like 45 minutes, just hanging out.
Well, that's what happened to me last time.
Oh yeah,
I was chilling there for 20 minutes until he showed up.
Well, you were
he had to get gear.
Yeah, I was on time. You were 20, 30 minutes early.
I know. I don't know.
Once.
I know. I told him don't be late.
I don't know what traffic's gonna be like.
Yeah. Yeah.
I told him this one time, don't be late for the shoot.
So I was chilling there for 20 minutes, and then he showed up on time. We had to wait like another hour until someone like got there for the building. Oh man. Yeah. So we're like kind of setting up.
Yeah, we're talking. Like, it wasn't. That's stuff, why. Like, I'm always making my time useful.
Yeah.
Like, instead of just sitting in cars, chilling or grabbing food or whatever, we were actually. I was setting up the camera. We were talking about how we can do it. Like,
I think I posted on the podcast account.
Exactly. I was showing you because I scouted the building before. Always scout your spot before you're shooting. So I scouted it the day before, and I showed him the pictures. Like, we can do a setup here. Like, we're still like. Engaging or like so we're not walking in and then we start. It's like we're already in the zone to get it going. So it's nice and easy. So always just know make your time useful.
Know what you're up against.
Always.
Can that be your slogan now?
Yeah. And just scout what you're gonna do first. Always.
Right? Yeah. What is something that you hate that makeup artists do?
I haven't really worked with too many. So I'm kind of just...
Yeah,
I'm going to agree with everything that Frank said.
Yes. Me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like when they cake it up. That is number one.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's just in general.
Even looking at...
It depends on your...
female with cake up makake.
Yeah.
Not that interesting.
No. Honestly, that is also one of my pet peeves.
Yeah.
So I think we all agree. Cake face?
Oh, yeah.
Don't do it.
There's a time and a place.
Yeah, honestly, theater makeup, cake phase, go for it.
Yeah,
100%.
There you go.
But like, anything else though, like if you're doing beauty makeup and you can see like the texture.
Yeah.
Oh man. Actually, here's another pro tip for like macro.
Okay.
I carry around like little eyebrow razors, because like sometimes like even like around the lips or something, like especially for women, it's just like women have facial hair.
Oh yeah.
But like, you know, especially like if it's a little darker, you know, it's just sometimes it's nice to like clean it up. Because if you're shooting really close, you can actually see the peach fuzz.
Yep, I've had that a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the camera doesn't lie.
No,
so
it does not.
Photoshop does though.
Yeah, but then it looks.
Then you're sitting there for an hour. Just,
I know.
Honestly, fix it on set. Like, do as much as you can before, and like, yeah.
Then you're done. You don't have to do much post.
Yeah, one of my profs is actually, she's the creative director for Chatelaine magazine.
Yeah.
And she was telling us the story about how this artist was brought onto this shoot. And she was like a big name, and she was not cheap. And it was a shoot on like a yoga teacher. So she wasn't a model.
Yeah.
She was a genuine yoga teacher, and she was sweating because she was doing yoga poses, as you do. And then like she wasn't paying attention, and so the AD constantly had to be like, you know, go touch up, go powder, you know, go blot, whatever. And she said like, you can just do that in post.
Like you're getting paid.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's your job to sit there and wait until you're needed.
Yeah.
Pay attention. Go powder her face. Like,
you have the resources.
Yeah.
Use them.
But she was like apparently too lazy to go. Like, I wasn't there, but my prof says she was never hired again.
That sounds about right.
And like that project went like $3,000 over budget.
Oh yeah, because instead of taking that whatever amount of time to shoot, you're putting that time into editing.
Yeah,
which is even
like they wanted to do very
expensive.
Simple, like, you know, like color correcting, whatever.
Yeah.
But then they had to go in and like mattify the entire skin and like remove shine.
That's just, I find like Photoshop is amazing if like for like touch ups and whatever you need, but like I find it as it's a fuck up tool. Like you fucked up, you're gonna use Photoshop to fix it.
Yeah, it's
like,
not your first resource.
No, like if you're screwed up, you have no choice to go in Photoshop and fix it if you need to. Try to stay away from that, and like you'll use it for whatever you need to use it.
Yeah,
but like right, because a lot of photographers overuse Photoshop because they don't have an MUA.
Yeah.
Right, so the skin's not nice and even, so you have to do all that in Photoshop, and it's a lot more time on the photographer.
Yeah,
you can just pay an MUA, and then
or even then, like honestly, makeup artists are like they want to work, right? So like just ask them, like even if it's like your concept, even if it's like if you think it's like boring makeup, I'm pretty sure they'd be happy to do it, because one thing that's really requested is like the no makeup.
Yeah.
So like if it doesn't look like they're wearing makeup, we did a good job.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So even if you think it's going to be boring and you think no one's going to say yes, just ask a makeup artist, and I'm pretty sure they'll go out. Like, pretty sure they'll do it. Because it helps them too. Like, if they're just starting out, and pretty sure they'd like to.
And then you can collaborate or, like, actually, like, have that person on, like, every time you need somebody.
Yeah.
It's your go-to. You have
networking.
connections.
Yeah. And, like, it's good to have someone on hand. And even, like, you know, once you have that relationship, like, even if you don't need them for the whole shoot, you just want to ask them, like, hey, like, I'm doing a shoot with this type of vibe. Like, what do you think would look good? Right? Like, what kind of colors would look nice? Like, I have photographers that, like, they're doing, like, men, and they don't need me. Although male makeup is a real thing, I will say. Like, even, like, the natural, even, like, cologne ads, they wear makeup.
Anything.
But, like, for that particular shoot, she didn't want a makeup artist. She didn't want anything heavy. But she came to me just asking for, like, colors. Like, you know, this is his skin tone. This is the background. What should he wear? And it's like, of course, like, I'm not a stylist, but I'd be happy to help. Just because, you know, she values that I have, like, an eye for color. And that makes me feel good, right?
Yeah.
So there's no harm in asking.
No.
Right? So.
No.
Yeah.
Let's see, we wrap things up.
Sure. Let's go for it.
Thank you guys for stopping by, listening to this episode. Thank you for coming by.
Thank you.
Being on this episode. So yeah, if anyone needs a makeup artist,
let me know. Toronto, Ottawa, up for travel. Whenever.
There you go. International. We'll see. We'll see.
Booked and busy.
Weddings all over the world.
Guys.
Yeah. Right? Oh, yes.
Make sure to like and subscribe. It actually does help a lot. Stay tuned for upcoming episodes. If you guys want us to talk about a certain topic or even have a certain person on the podcast, or you'd like to be on the podcast, shoot us a DM at BORN2CREATE podcast. You can find me on Instagram at acef.media.
Find me at Francois Mittens.
Switching things up.
Yeah, a lot simpler.
And where can people find you?
Glamour by Gabrielle with an underscore at the end.
Everything will be linked in the description. Peace out, everyone, and stay woke.
Have a good one.